How's it going, folks? Gosh, I had to take 3 takes to make this video. I'll try to make sure I'll make it nice and simple. Today, as you guys know, it's coronavirus isolation day, especially on the Easter Friday. 4 years ago, I moved out by myself, which has happened exactly the same time. And it was actually 2 weeks before Easter that I moved in. And this video is just going to share about my struggles and what I've encountered my entire my rental life story. Okay, hopefully in the future I'll learn my mistakes even better. Anyway, I first moved out in 2016, and I moved out in this house in Reservoir. It was an old house. It was kind of run down, but the rent was cheap, including bills. It was my first time ever moving out. All right, I was I had to move out because I'm 26. I had to move out. Can't just always be with the parents all the time. So let me try to get this. Remember what's the topic. I have to close my eyes, so you've probably seen this clip that my eyes were shut. So when I moved in, I didn't get to know my roommates. Probably one of the roommates, have a bit of chit chat, this and that, but nothing much forward. I just moved in. I had no experience what's it like, and I moved in slowly, adjust my room into what it is, and my friends and my classmates and my cousins said to me, "Jesus, I can't believe you moved in the house like that." Etc. And I just moved in because I look at my when I used to have a house, when I rent people out, I have to accept the way it is, right? I can't complain. And it was a cash in hand rental, or which is like that. And I remember vividly a night in Easter. It was Thursday night. It happened the next day, Easter Friday. And what happened is, I did not know there was a drug addict right next to my room. Well, let's just call him Greg. Greg was slapping himself, growling, moaning, banging on the wall, shook his bed, slammed his door, swing his keychain, and to the walkway to front of the door, front door of the house, and slam the door, walk out and come back to the house, slam the door and slam his own door and go to his room, and repeated the same thing over and over and over throughout the next day, throughout the night as well. At the beginning, I thought he was, maybe he's just, he was probably just wanting to, banging different type of girls. That's why I was like, oh, fuck, this guy's crazy, I'm like, oh, respect, man. But it's just, I was like, oh, maybe this will last till 12 o'clock at night. I was like, you know what, I was lying on the bed, my eyes are shut at 10 o'clock, and, just waited for him to die down, but it just never died down. And somehow I fall asleep after 12 o'clock. The next day I woke up, he's still doing the same thing over and over and again. Now, I confronted with the landlord over the phone and contact and see what is going on. The landlord has confronted me and stated that he has undergoing ice drug. I was flipped out. This is first time ever being in a vulnerable position. This guy's banging my wall because we're sharing the same wall. And geez, if you have enough power, he can smash it all through and probably kill me in my bedroom. So when Friday night, when I tried to sleep, I just couldn't sleep because each time he shook his bed, my eyes are wide open. It's like a trigger. And when I do that, it was appalling for me. I barely sleep on that night. The next day I had to move back to my auntie house because I couldn't handle it. I'm in a vulnerable position. And that was house number 1. A week later, I found accommodation, and it was house number 2. It was one of my student class club mates, student club, who recommended me a couple of weeks ago before I moved into the house, and you know, it was a very rich posh area, Eastern Camberwell, and it was a stage that it was $170. It was out of my budget, but in a good suburb, why not? You know, big room, double brick, rich area, why not? I've met two close friends in the house. One of them is in moved back to China. We made a lot of videos. Another one is in you know, he's still in Melbourne, and this year is his last year studies. So when I look back and see this whole thing, brings a lot of memories. Now I had to move out the house. I had to stay there within a month due to what was the word? The landlord wouldn't sign my social security, my welfare documents stating for rent assistant, where her personally she didn't pay tax, so I had to get kicked out the house. So I had to move out. So I had to find accommodation, and this time I have to go all the way to the end of the train line called South Morang. I was desperate for housing, honestly. So I had a house. It was I found a house. I took the bond. You know, I took the payment and bond straight away. It was a study room. They said the roommates next to me will move out soon, and I'll take that room later on. But eventually, I stayed in that little small room for the next 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, and it was great experience when I stayed in that room. There was no drama. I didn't move out until 2018, towards the end of it, as the landlord's son is moving into their house. Therefore, I had to move out. Well, that was the cheapest accommodation that I ever had. I was a student back then, and you know what? I had to let my wings and fly away and find another accommodation. My major concern was moving to a house was of I'm a big snorer at night. So there was the first house that I went to, I secured the contract straight away because I moved. I make sure when I move out, it was during the when I found accommodation. It was like November. Was it November? Yeah, November or October. All right, I moved in, and the house was clearly was great. I was the only one there from my memories. A week later, when I moved in, the Uber Eat guy moved in right next to me. Actually, I'm the second person. There's another person who lives 2 rooms away from me. I will call him Tom. And Tom was there, and I got Uber Eats guy was moving there. At that time, I was very close to my girlfriend. I always live at my girlfriend's place. So I probably stay in this house probably 2 days a week. And after I did that, it was there was a third person who moved in, well, fourth person, and he just moved in. We just call him, I don't know, I can't, gosh, Uber Eats, and we got Tom, and we got another one. We call him Greg. Right, Greg moved in on the fourth room, and this Tom guy makes a lot of rules about, like, for example, this landlord is bad. He got rid of all the lights of the laundry and as well the kitchen, got rid of the ovens, break the oven, and also there's a restriction after, if you're gonna have a shower at 10 o'clock, she'll immediately cut the water supply, hot water supply, and she'll lock the door. And I was like, all right, I have to obey that. And he loves to, Tom loves to talk to me, try to talk this and that, blah, 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 you name it. And when the fourth guy moved in, Greg, he just moved in one night. Oh my God. He just moved in. Oh my God. He moved everything, and it's after 10 o'clock. He had a shower, and boy, he was furious. Cold water. And he was start talking to Tom about, what is going on. He tried to knock on my door. I didn't want to respond. I let Tom do all the talk. I just opened my eyes, observed while I'm laying on the bed, and they were talking yep, 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 all the way through, saying the landlord's bad, this is what the landlords do, blah, 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 blah. And things change a lot. And he's threatened to move out, this and that. And the landlord doesn't communicate with him. So it's all good. So the next day, I volunteered for work. And when I volunteered for work, it was a more of a St Kilda festival event. It was an eventful day, and that exact night that I came back home, the Uber Eats guy said the police came over to the house and escort Tom out of the house. I was like, "You're fucking serious? What happened, man? Like, this house was alright. He's a good bloke." Oh, the Uber Eats didn't saw the incident, but he's like, Tom wanting to escape, climbing a neighbor's fence. He was, and he got pepper sprayed on the eyes, due to, I think he threw some plates or have arguments with the landlord, and I think chucked something on the landlord's face, and she was bleeding. He got escorted, and a couple of days later, he has intervention order against him, so not returning back to this house. And I'm just there. I'm like, geez, how much of bad luck am I? I just moving. I'm just hoping I'll never come across this sort of stuff. A bit of background with Tom. He's unemployed, mental health, psychotic. He was trying to manipulate me every single day, even though I can't say greater details on the videos because it's already 12 minutes in the video. And yeah, it's just so much going on, with their moving house. And it made me realize, even though I'm moving to this new house, because of, no dramas. But I've learnt a lot when moving houses, that it's, you gotta, when you move a house, you make sure the house is good condition, not like a good roommates is most important about everything. As long as the courtesy, as long as no causing drama. And till now, when I look for a room, I look very deeply. And when I got for this new accommodation where I am right now, I moved in here probably since January. Is that January? Yeah, I think it was January. No, sorry, it was last December. When I moved in this place, I started to realize, I was the only one moved in. I think I have a better odds, but I took the gamble. Moving new accommodation is a gamble. You're not sure who's gonna move in next to you is gonna be a good person or a bad person. No way, I promise you. But here's my story. I hope you guys do like this whole story. My friend's been telling me I got some psychotic, crazy stories, but hey, man, it's all about luck.